Hello and welcome to another playthrough of Marvel Champions. We are going to be going through the expert mode of each villain now. So, for the break-ins main scheme for Rhino, so you use Rhino 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 instead for expert mode, which we are doing. And then we still use the bomb scare. Modular. So Rhino 2 starts with scheme 1, attack of 3, 15 hit points. Brute Criminal, when revealed, search your encounter deck and discard pile for the break-in and take-in side scheme, reveal it, shuffle the encounter deck, and then we'll get to Rhino 3 when we get there. So I put it on the bottom just to make it easier to find, and then I'm going to shuffle the deck. So break-in and take-in, when revealed, place an additional threat here, 1 per player. So 2, 3. So it starts with 3 threat. We'll shuffle in the deck. And we're going to shuffle in our obligation. We already have Rhino's health set to 15, so he's all set up. You're going to be using Peter Parker. He has a recovery of 3, hand size of 6, and 10 hit points. The scientist's ability is a resource, generate a mental resource once per round. And our Spider-Man has a Thor 1, attack of 2, defense of 3. His Spider Sense interrupt ability, when the villain initiates an attack against you, draw 1 card. So we start as Peter Parker. We'll give my deck one last shuffle. And then draw our 6 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the deck over there. Alright, let's see what we got. We got Nick Fury. Power of Protection, Counter Punch, Enhanced Spider Sense, Helicarrier, and another Enhanced Spider Sense. So we're going to use our ability to generate a resource and then also pay 3 more to get out Nick Fury. Then we're going to choose to draw 3 cards. Alright, so we got an Armored Vest, Get Behind Me, and Black Cat. Then we are going to use these 3 resources to play our Helicarrier. Okay, so Nick Fury, when we played him, when he enters play, remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, which is the one we chose, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. So at the end of the round, if Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. And then the Helicarrier we played is you exhaust the Helicarrier, so it's going to be to choose a player, reduce the resource cost of the next card that player plays this phase by 1. So we'll use that now to get our Armored Vest out. So play under any player's control. The hero gets +1 defense. So we're going to play that under our control. We'll flip over. And we're going to go ahead and thwart for 2 and then thwart for 1. So it's thwarting for a total of 3 to get rid of the break-in and take-in side scheme. So we don't get that extra encounter card. Nick Fury takes the damage. And then we will end our turn. So we'll draw up to our hand size, which is now 5 on Spider-Man's side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll ready everything back up. So we got another Armored Vest. You can only have 1 per player. Haymaker, Spider Tracer, Web Shooter, and Webbed Up. On Rhino's turn, we get 1 threat added to the main scheme. Rhino attacks for 3 plus a boost card. 1 boost, 4. So Nick Fury was blocking that. You always not block with Nick Fury because he goes away anyway at the end of the round. So, but when he initiated an attack against me, I get to draw a card. Even though it was blocked, we get Strength. And then we get an encounter card dealt to us. It is the Stampede. Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, the character is stunned. So he's going to attack us for 3 plus a boost card. We're going to block this time. So I don't have anything in my hand. Nope. So we have a defense of 4, so 3 and no boost. So he didn't deal any damage to us, but he did initiate an attack against us. So our ability, let's just draw another card, and we get Luke Cage this time. Okay, so we are going to use the Armored Vest to pay for our Web Shooter. So what the Web Shooter does, it comes in with 3 counters on it. And then you can exhaust it and remove a counter to generate a wild resource. That is a hero resource. So that's that. Then I think we will use 1, make our next card cheaper, use this resource, and then 2 more resources to get out Luke Cage. So he enters with an attack of 2, thwart of 1, 5 health, and he gets a tough status on him. So he's a good defender. Okay. And then we are going to go ahead and just pay 2 resources to do a Haymaker to deal 3 damage to an enemy. So Rhino will be down to 12. Could attack, but that would remove his tough, so I think I'm going to hold off on attacking and have him block. So we're going to ready everything up. We get 1 threat added to the main scheme. Rhino attacks. Luke Cage is going to block. So base 3, no boost. So remove the tough. Okay, so we never drew our 5 cards, so we'll draw those now, and then we're going to draw an extra one for him attacking us. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see our 5 cards first. We got a Haymaker, Indomitable, Haymaker, Swinging Web Kick, and another Indomitable. Okay, so then we'll draw our extra card for him attacking us, which is Genius. Now we are going to get an encounter card. So when Rhino attacks, this attack gains Overkill, and then he gets +3 attack. So at the end of the attack, you discard charge. So he only gets it for 1 attack. Alright, so now it is our turn. We're going to make our next card 1 cheaper and bring in Indomitable. So as a response, after you hear defense, discard Indomitable and ready your hero. And then I will use my Web Shooter resource and use Genius. It's just 2 resources to pay for a Swinging Web Kick, which deals 8 damage to an enemy. So that will bring Rhino down to 8. And then from there, I'm going to... Actually, he's down to 4. 12 minus 8 is 4. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now, I will spend 2 resources to do a Haymaker to deal 3 damage, bring him down to 1, and then I will attack with Spider-Man for 2. So he's at 0. That finishes the first phase of Rhino. So now phase 3, he comes in with Toughness, and when revealed, stun each hero. So it's Scheme of 1, attack of 3, and Toughness, and then we'll be stunned. So we'll ready everything up. And then we are going to draw our 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got a backflip, Get Behind Me, Energy, Aunt May, and Avengers Mansion. We're adding 1 threat to the main scheme. Alright, Rhino is attacking. So this attack's going to get +3. We are going to go ahead and take it. So no boost, but we have a backflip. So when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all that damage. So it was 4 + 3. It was going to be 7 damage, but instead it's none, and charge gets discarded, and we draw a card for Rhino initiating an attack, and we got Mockingbird. Okay, so we will get our encounter card dealt to us, which is Bomb Scare. So it starts with 2 on it, and then it gets 1 additional threat per player. So it's going to have 3. And Rhino is at 16 health now in his second phase. So we'll go ahead and set that. Get that out of the way. Okay. So now it is our turn. I think what we're going to do, we will attack with Spider-Man just to get rid of our stun. And then Luke Cage will attack for 2, bringing Rhino down to 14. Luke Cage will take 1 damage for attacking. We will pay 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to pay 4. So pay these 4 to get out Avengers Mansion. We use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. And it is Black Widow. We're going to... And I just noticed... So one of our attacks would have just gotten rid of Tough. That's what I meant to do. Okay. We are going to use our web shooter, last resource on that, and make our next card 1 cheaper. We'll use Black Widow to pay for Mockingbird. When Mockingbird enters play, you stun the enemy. So he is now stunned. So since when we attacked with Luke Cage, we only removed the toughness, so he's still at 16. We never actually dealt damage to him. Mockingbird is going to... let's have her thwart for 1. We'll work on that. Okay. So ready everything up. We will draw our 5 cards. And then... So we got Webbed Up, Swinging Web Kick, Web Shooter, Power of Protection, and a Counter Punch. Okay. Rhino is going to get 1 threat added to the main, well actually 2, because we have the boost card now, so it goes from 2 to 4. He's going to try to attack us, but he's stunned. Alright. We will get an encounter card, which is going to be the Shocker. So, deal 1 damage to each hero when he's revealed. So we will take 1 damage. Okay. So we will use Avengers Mansion first to draw a card into a Counter Punch. we're going to use Webbed Up to pay for our web shooter, which is the same as the last one. We get 3 resources added to it. I think we're going to have Mockingbird and Luke Cage attack Shocker, so that's 3 damage, taking him out, and then they each take a damage. Spider-Man is going to attack Rhino, bringing him down to 14. And then we're going to use Helicarrier to make our next card 1 cheaper. And then we will use our web shooter as a resource. So that's 2. And then we will use Counterpunch to pay for a swinging web kick. So it deals 8 damage to an enemy, bringing Rhino down to 6. Alright, so we are going to ready everything up. We are going to draw up to 5 cards. We kept 2, Counterpunch and Power Protection. We're going to discard Power Protection so we can draw 4 cards. 4. So we drew a Spider Tracer, Get Behind Me, Swinging Web Kick, and a Backflip. So Rhino's going to scheme for 2, bringing the main scheme up to 6 out of 7, which is really close. So we're going to have to hope nothing gets added, which it shouldn't. So Rhino attacks us. We will get to draw a card. We draw Indomitable. We run out of cards in our deck, which means we have to shuffle. And then we get an encounter card dealt to us. So Rhino attacks for 4 plus a boost card. So 5 damage. We're going to use our Backflip to get out of that. And we'll get another encounter card dealt to us. So the first one, Surge. Exhaust your identity, and this surges into a new card. Alright, so we're exhausted, plus we get another card. So here, Rhino attacks you. If your character is damaged by this attack, your character is stunned. So we got that. Mockingbird is going to block that attack. So that's 4 plus 2, so 6 damage. She takes all of it and is knocked out. Sandman belongs up there. Okay, and our last card is another Stampede. So Rhino's going to attack us again, and if we're damaged, our character is stunned. This time we're going to have Luke Cage block. So he attacks for 4 plus 2, so 6 damage to Luke Cage. So he is gone. Alright, so now it's our turn. And just to do it quickly, we will pay 3 resources, do a swinging web kick to deal 8 damage, and that will defeat Rhino. So he had 6, and we bring him down to 0. Alright, so we were close. We had 3 out of 6 on the main scheme, but we still had enough to take him out. So that is an expert playthrough of Rhino. Stick around for deck construction if you want to see what deck I used and what cards I used for the Rhino's deck as well. Alright, so a quick overview of our deck construction. We had the 15 Spider-Man cards. His cards are all really pretty good. The swinging web kicks, dealing 8 damage, really helped out getting Rhino down. For our protection cards, we had 2 power protections, 3 get behind me's, 2 armored vest, 3 Indomitable and 3 Counter Punches, and then our allies, we had Black Widow and Luke Cage. So that's most of the protection cards that come in the core set. I took out a few. Energy, Strength, Genius. Always want to get those 3 resource cards in every deck. I did 3 Haymakers just for some extra damage. Helicarrier, Avengers Mansion, Mockingbird, and Nick Fury for those allies. So the villain for Rhino, I had Rhino's basic deck, Bomb Scare Modular, Standard cards, and Expert cards since we were in Expert mode. So if you liked that video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.